the California road or whatever. Just worry about your own driving first. Let me worry about those other guys. We write a lot of tickets out here. We're stepping up our traffic enforcement. It's bad news, I guess, in Sherman Oaks if you drive bad. We're stepping up our traffic enforcement in Sherman Oaks because that's the biggest problem I'm having out here. Okay? So drive better. Speaking of traffic, there's going to be a lot of traffic on Ventura Boulevard on June 8th, which is a Tuesday, because we're basically going to be shutting down parts of Ventura Boulevard because that day the Special Olympics, everybody knows what the Special Olympics is? They have their torch run. Law enforcement does a torch run for them. It starts from the San Diego Mexican border. It goes all through California. Different departments carry the torch for Special Olympics. This is for the handicapped kids. We run it all the way up to the northern, up to Arizona, up to Oregon. It's going to be here on Ventura Boulevard. My officers, we pick up the torch on June 8th at about 3:30, 3:45, right in front of the Sportsman's Lodge on Ventura Coldwater. We're going to run it 3.8 miles down Ventura Boulevard, and we end at the Galleria, at the fountain at the Galleria. So if you want to see us run down the road, there's going to be about 78. Last year we had 78 officers and family members, and we had a couple of the Special Olympics athletes with us carrying the torch, running down the street. It's to raise money for the Special Olympics, which is a great worthy cause. The officers, they run, they also donate $20 and they get a t-shirt that says Torch Run and has all the departments on the back. This year, you guys can participate in that. If you want to buy a t-shirt, I have t-shirts with me. You donate, an officer will run in your name. Unless you want to run with us, it's June 8th, it's going to be kind of hot. If not, an officer will run for you, but you still get the t-shirt. If you're interested, I'm going to give you my city cell phone number. Okay, you can call me and I'll get your t-shirt to you. My number is 818-731-2565. Please don't call that number when you need the police today. Like if you go home and you see something, because what if I'm not there? Still use 311 or 911. That number you can call me if you have an ongoing issue or you want to ask me a question. Okay, I'm running out of time now. Ask me a question.
Only her.
No, he told me $25.
$25 is the donation. You get a black t-shirt that looks like this in the front, and on the back is the list of all the departments in California that participate in it. If you run for $20, the officers will be wearing this color t-shirt. Okay, so if you're interested, I'll be here a little after. I don't want to detract from the meeting, but just call me at 818-731-2565, and I'll get you a t-shirt. Okay. Also, my big meeting is next Thursday. I always tell you that I have 5 minutes to cover all of Sherman Oaks. I can't do it. Next Thursday, I have a meeting for an hour and a half, a neighborhood watch meeting, May the 27th at 6:30 at the Fashion Square. Excuse me, at the Sunkissed building. You all used to meet there before? At the Sunkissed building, I still meet there. If you want to come by there next Thursday, May 27th at 6:30, we'll cover all this stuff that we talked about, crime, in great detail. I'll answer all your questions at that time. Okay? If anybody wants a t-shirt, I'll be here after the meeting.
Okay, well, one question before you leave. You talked about the bicycle police officers. Okay, if they see someone in a car doing something illegal, who is going to pull over for a bicycle police officer? But before you answer the question, I only know one person who's ever been pulled over, and actually pulled over. That was my wife. Wow. She got pulled over.
By the bike police?
By the bike police.
Wow.
Right?
Oh my
so it works.
Do people actually...
They do pull over, and if they don't pull over, those bicycles have a radio like this. They put out the description and the license of the car, and guess what? We get them. So people do pull over, especially in Sherman Oaks. People pull over.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next, Tamar, why don't you come up, the Neighborhood Prosecutor Program, give us an update on Sherman Oaks.
I want to give you a medical marijuana update. There's been a lot in the paper recently, and I just want to tell you what that's going to mean for Sherman Oaks. A lot of you remember the city put into place a moratorium in November 2007. And at that point, we had 16 dispensaries in Van Nuys division, and they registered with the city. 16, which was about 10% of the total citywide, were right here. Since then, the moratorium, as we know, didn't work, and we have over 800 dispensaries. So the council adopted a new ordinance, and the city attorney's office 2 weeks ago sent out a letter to over 600 dispensaries in the city of Los Angeles saying you have till June 7th to close. And the letter went to the dispensary and the property owner. So what that means is, as of a few weeks ago, in Van Nuys division, which is all of Van Nuys and all of Sherman Oaks, we had 69 dispensaries. And so after the evictions and everything else, all of the places that have been told to close, we will have, instead of the 16 that we originally have, several of them have closed, so we will end up with 13 in Van Nuys division, 4 of which are in Sherman Oaks. There's going to be 2 on Ventura Boulevard, 1 on Sepulveda, and 1 on Burbank, and the rest are going to have to close. So next month I will hopefully give you an update to let you know how successful that effort was, but I know that one of the problem ones in Sherman Oaks, as I've been driving by it every day, has a big for lease sign. So this is working, and we're going to get control of this issue.
Thank you. Is Pat Davenport here from the Victorian's office? Anyone wants to speak? Someone's pointing.
She's here.
Pat, you're not paying attention. You're being distracted by Matt Epstein, right? You want to give an update? And can you just summarize what Tamar said to the audience? Oh, I'm sorry, you're paying attention.
I was being corralled by several folks for a personal update.
Okay.
Anyway, just what can I say?
Thank you very much.
Tough times, and Richard, you know better. And but we are doing some wonderful things. There will be a class this Saturday. Did John already mention that? Okay, 10 a.m. for an hour and a half at Sportsman's Lodge in the banquet areas. You know, you enter off Coldwater. Paul KORETZ and Paul Krikorian have come together, the 2 PKs, and we're doing a training class with street use. So for citizen volunteers who can help with things like illegal signage, illegal news racks, all sorts of things in the public way. Love to have you. If you can come by, we had one last weekend. It's a great place for people who want to be involved to learn some things and to talk with others who are like-minded. So that's the biggest thing on our horizon right now. And that.
Thank you. Okay, Marshall, you want to come up? And I guess Matt Epstein. We're going to have the councilman give the full report from the council office, and he'll introduce his staff also. Matt Epstein, if you can lead as president of the South Valley Planning Commission. And Marshall heads up our planning work and our planning committees. Will give us an update.
Okay, quickly, the Ralph's project, which I'm sure we'll get into tonight with the councilman, is ongoing. My understanding is that they have submitted their environmentals.
When next week?
Oh, really? It should be in acoustics.
He's an acoustic.
Their environmental reports, and we're looking forward to getting copies of those so we can respond. The current plan is for 65,000 plus square feet of store, which covers most of the existing lot, and the design does not comply with the Ventura Boulevard specific plan. So we're hoping that we can get the councilman's support to enforce the compliance with the plan. There are a number of ways of doing that, including a smaller store, which would probably allow some on-grade parking with 1 level below ground. Next, there is a Vaughn's market proposal for the pavilions site on Ventura Boulevard. I'm meeting with the rep in a couple of weeks to see what they have planned. I am told that it complies with the plan, but it's always interesting to see whether that's the case.
Well,